When I was 13 years old or so, I had a summer job babysitting for a family across the street while the parents worked a late night to early morning shift. The kids went to bed pretty early, and so I had a lot of time to myself on those nights. I discovered a lot about myself that summer. The patriarch of the family often left pornographic magazines out where curious 13-year-old eyes could easily stumble across them, but we aren't talking about that kind of self-discovery. I'd been a Nintendo purist my whole short life. I started young with the NES and was gifted a Super Nintendo on what was probably the best Christmas of my life. I would scoff at all my friends who had a Sega Genesis. They'd try and tell me about something called blast processing they'd read about in EGM, but I had Mario and Mega Man X and all they had was that dumb hedgehog, so I was right, damn it. So for the first week or so of babysitting, I would bring my new N64 over and play that after the kids went to sleep. But eventually I grew bored of my limited library and decided to give their PlayStation a try, assured that I would find it inferior to the Nintendo Master Race. I played a few games, but one game I became instantly obsessed with. Silent Hill. I would come over and play it every night, and without fail I would still be awake when the parents showed up at 6 a.m. or so. I would be too scared to sleep, but too engaged to stop playing. I studied the walkthrough on GameFAQs like it was a Bible because I didn't want to even slightly risk not giving Harry Mason a happy ending. Anyone who played remembers the bit with the cat in the locker. My younger sister watched me play that part and I found myself pretending not to be scared because I knew she was terrified. I eventually beat the game and got the best ending, but I came out of that experience changed. I read up on all the references in game and sought out the works of Stephen King, David Lynch, and the like. When Silent Hill 2 came out, my parents wouldn't get it for me, so I traded a copy of Chrono Trigger on SNES for it to a friend of mine and still don't regret it. Even though I could feel a rush of air just now from several other video game collectors' anuses tightening. The only reason I ever ended up in advanced English classes was because my teachers had spotted me reading Dostoevsky, and I read online that Silent Hill 2 was inspired by Crime and Punishment. I never played the third, or any Silent Hill games past that. I don't want the experience of how perfect the first two are ruined for me. I replay the first two every couple years or so, and it's strange that something that used to bring me so much actual fear has become something of a security blanket for me. I recently have been trying to figure out where my obsession with horror began. I think back to when my dad showed me the Universal Monster movies I loved so much, but they never scared me. I think back to when I found those scary storybooks in the school library with all the awesome illustrations, but I typically just used those to scare other kids in my class. But then I'd think back to sitting in the dark, so scared I was unable to sleep, but unable to stop playing. My eventual sleep being fitful and full of nightmares. In my restless dreams, I saw that town.